For many people, the NBA is a purely American sports league, but the truth is that some of the best and most iconic players in the league right now are stars from overseas. Many NBA heroes are actually downright afraid of the foreign-born European stars who dominate the world of basketball. Today, we'll be going over players who underestimated the European game and would soon learn to regret it. Victor Wembanyama. We all know that Victor Wembanyama is one of the best rookies to ever enter the NBA, but only a few months ago, there were a lot of people who weren't sure. Too skinny, too young, too inexperienced, a surprisingly high number of people thought he'd be a wash. Enter Dillon Brooks of the Houston Rockets. We all know Dillon, and we all know he doesn't pull punches or hold back from sharing his personal opinion. So no one was shocked when he was asked about his first impressions of Wembanyama, and he plainly said,
"What was some of your major takeaways from seeing Wemby for the first time in person?"
He's tall. That's really it.
Well, yeah, he is tall, so technically Dillon was correct, but you know he was taking a dig at the French phenom. He was undercutting him, playing down expectations and acting unimpressed. Big mistake. Playing against the Houston Rockets, Victor put a hurting on Jabari Smith. With just one dunk, Wembanyama used his youth, his length, and his speed together to put up an impressive bucket that silenced the doubters.
Got tricky there. Looked like he's going to pass that ball out to the corner. There you go.
He was giving everyone a taste of what was to come. Brooks may have talked a lot before the game, but his reaction to that dunk said it all. Just tall, eh, Dillon?
He's tall.
Later in the game, Wemby helped out his Spurs on the other end of the court. This was just his second game in the league, and he was proving he could get it done on both ends of the court. Wembanyama will probably win MVP someday, maybe even soon, but will he be able to score multiple MVP trophies like our next European wonder, Nikola Jokic? Nikola Jokic has become an absolute NBA legend over the last few years, able to use his size and, more importantly, his mind to help the Denver Nuggets win. He's not the most talkative guy in the league, but he doesn't need to speak to freak out his opponents. Just because he's won 2 MVPs and a championship doesn't mean that others don't talk smack about Nikola. And when they do, they're then reminded why they should be afraid of him. The Los Angeles Lakers can't seem to get past Jokic. Last season, they got swept by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. It wasn't a pretty series, and Jokic consistently outworked Anthony Davis and his team on the way to the finals.
It's Jokic for 3. What hasn't he done in this first half? Before he can bring back the ball for the last 6. Is Jokic now 8 points in this second half? Well, yep. She's like, look, I saw Bill Walton in his prime. I don't know. I was like, well, we could throw the older Sabonis.
After the Lakers got swept, Davis had some things to say, stating that he and LeBron were ready for a rematch. Well, they got one. In the opening round of the 2024 playoffs, the Lakers battled the Nuggets again, and guess what? Jokic made Davis regret those words.
Good Jackson, Jokic with a 3. Screen roll, Jokic, he got it from Jackson. Jokic driving into Davis. Jokic again, bumping. Look at that.
That's your 3, Reds. He's going to do it the hard way.
It's probably going to be some time before Anthony Davis or any Lakers star suggests they want to play Jokic again. All things considered, Jokic is one of the most humble dudes in the entire league. Unfortunately for the Orlando Magic, Luka Doncic is an entirely different breed. Luka Doncic is one of the best European players in the NBA, a future Hall of Famer and a potential MVP too. He's also someone who's not afraid of speaking his mind, even in the middle of high-stakes games. Doncic also holds a grudge, sometimes for years, and that's why the rest of the league is afraid of him. If they act up or act out, Doncic takes note. A couple of years ago, Doncic's Dallas Mavericks were playing against the Orlando Magic, a young team that, at the time, didn't have a lot of promise, so they were happy with every single win they could get. During one game, Mo Wagner was beyond happy when his team scored an and one, and he let it be known.
Strong drive there by Suggs and a score for the rookie.
That was quite the vocal celebration from Wagner, and Luka wasn't about it.
Get ready. 9 minutes left and this kind of stuff.
After being separated, it was clear that Doncic wasn't a fan of Wagner's celebration. Skip ahead to 2024 and Doncic would show Wagner that he hadn't forgotten his over-the-top antics from a few years ago. Luka got his revenge in the form of 45 points and 15 assists over Mo Wagner, and he reminded everyone in the league that he may be the best European star playing right now. Doncic hasn't won MVP yet, but other European players in the league have, such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, and like Luka, he has repeatedly showcased why everyone in the league should be deathly afraid of him. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is just entering the prime of his career, but he's done so much during his years in the NBA already. 8 All-Star appearances? Done. Most Improved Player trophy? Earned it. All-Star and Finals MVP? Check. Championship? You betcha. But can you believe that some people in the league actually doubted the Greek Freak when he joined the NBA? In fact, none other than Anthony Davis didn't think he had what it takes to stop him. According to Giannis, Davis said as much toward the beginning of the Greek star's career, saying the young rookie couldn't block him. Giannis did not forget this. A few years later, Giannis's Bucks were playing against Anthony Davis and the Lakers. Right away, the Freak showed he wasn't messing around.
3 so far, away from Staples Center. Block that time, they reject.
I don't know about you, but that looks like a block to me. But hold on, it gets better.
Put his shoulder into AD. A little bounce in this step. Speaking of bounce, Giannis working against Anthony Davis. Hit him with the hezzy. Inside with the left hand.
Giannis not only showed Davis that he could block him during the game, he also reminded the rest of the world just how fearsome he can be, dropping a monster 47 points during that game compared to Davis's 18. So I guess that Giannis really can block AD. And I guess he doesn't easily let go of trash talking either. From a previous MVP to the latest choice for most valuable player, let's take a look at another foreign-born NBA star who strikes fear into the hearts of his opponents, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers is an MVP superstar who has yet to achieve his ultimate goal of winning the finals, but there's no doubt that the man is driven and will battle anyone with his whole heart and soul to reach his goals. When Embiid is fired up, everyone else should get out of his way. Just ask Kevin Durant. A few years ago, back when Durant was still with the Brooklyn Nets, Embiid got very rowdy after scoring a widely important dagger shot.
Embiid gets it back and a foul on Aldridge and Joel with a huge basket.
Durant noticed. Durant didn't like it. Durant let it be known. The two superstars went at it on the court but moved on, or so we thought. Later in the season, just weeks after he had been waved off by Durant, Embiid and KD met again in Brooklyn. In the end, the Sixers scored a 110-102 win, and Embiid once again showed enthusiasm for the team. But the star player also showed that he hadn't forgotten their last match when Durant took such offense to Embiid's theatrics.
To what Durant did the last time these two teams met.
As Durant and his teammates chuckled and got ready to walk off the court, Embiid wouldn't stop reminding them who they got beat by. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and Embiid was making sure Durant and his Nets ate well that night. Speaking of revenge, this next one might be one of the most satisfying revenge games of all time. Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis is a Latvian legend, a tall and lanky and supremely talented NBA star who's been written off and counted out again and again.
Porzingis again. Step back, long three, and it goes.
Remember draft night 2015 when Kristaps was picked by the New York Knicks? Fans in the arena literally booed and even started crying. Yes, crying. They were that unimpressed by the big man.
Kristaps Porzingis from Liepaja, Latvia. He last played for Sevilla in Spain.
Even fans of his team didn't believe in Kristaps. He's been unappreciated since day one, but fans of the Knicks would soon learn, and the rest of the league would learn to fear the 7'2" wonder. By the time Kristaps reached the Celtics, a lot of people were wondering what more he was capable of. The talented big man had done a lot in his career, but sadly, he had also been held back often. Sometimes it was because of injuries, and sometimes it was because he was playing for an inferior team like the always struggling Washington Wizards. But when he got to Boston, he was ready to remind everyone that he should be feared. Now, Kristaps had some good times when playing for the Knicks. In fact, the city and its fans still hold a special place in their heart for him. But he wanted a statement game for his first match as a Celtic, and he didn't care that he had to deliver it against his old team.
Well, you may improve, which is a heck of a statement since Marcus Smart was MVP.
Boom! Right away, he was doing some great things, and they didn't end with a powerful alley-oop out the gate.
Back outside, Porzingis good look, buries it through. Porzingis again. Step back, long three, and it goes.
Unreal.
Well, By Porzingis. Barrett going to the basket.
Oh, yeah!
On both ends of the court, Kristaps, are you kidding me? Porzingis posted 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks during his first game with the Celtics, giving his new team a big win and his old team a painful reminder of all they were now missing. Porzingis is undoubtedly one of the best European players around right now, but if you're talking about the best of the best, Dirk Nowitzki must have his name in the hat, being the original European star who should never be messed with. Dirk Nowitzki. Back in 2011, it felt like nothing could slow down Dirk and the Dallas Mavericks. These guys were just impossible to contain. So it's no surprise that they were up 3-0 over the Los Angeles Lakers during the Western Conference semifinals. Being down 3-0 can be incredibly frustrating, and what do some people do when they're frustrated? They lash out. That's what Lakers star Lamar Odom did.
Been a lot of lip right
cursing,
here now.
he's yelling and cursing here at Nowitzki.
And Nowitzki right now, he just has to walk away.
Yeah.
Bad look by Odom, and one that cost him the game because he was ejected for his actions.
Put him out. You cannot set a tone for any more things that might happen in any other game throughout the playoffs. This is the correct call. The officials have been positive all day today.
But it really didn't bother Dirk at all. He didn't seem fazed at all. When the game was over, the Mavericks had swept the Lakers and Nowitzki had averaged 25.2 points and 9.3 rebounds during the series. The thing that's so remarkable about this moment is that Dirk really didn't have a huge reaction to getting checked by Odom. He didn't lose his cool at all. That's not just smooth and impressive, it's honestly kind of scary. The last NBA MVPs have been won by international stars, which shows just how fierce and fearsome people from across the sea can be on the court. From Giannis to Jokic to Dirk and more, no one should sleep on European ballers.